Hello and welcome back to The Great Ace Attorney 2. So we are actually going to pick up our next case and resolve with the return of the great departed soul. Investigation, Part 1. Episode 3. The Return of the Great Departed Soul.
19世紀末、大帝都ロンドンで開催された万国博覧会を知らぬ者はないだろう。世界の文化、最新の科学技術がハイドパークの特設会場に集められた。来場者総数5000万人を超えた今世紀最後にして最大の祭典は、全世界の人々に強烈な印象を刻み込む大成功のうちに終わったのだった。しかしその会期中に起きたあの大惨事の真相解明の裏側に、我が友シャーロック・ホームズの活躍があったことを知る者は少ない。彼はあの大事故の裏に幾重にも隠された真実を暴き出したのである。ハイドパークにそびえ立ったロンドン万国博覧会の象徴ともいえるあの水晶塔のごとき孤高にして凍結した名推理によって、
ロンドン万国博覧会会場はあふれんばかりの人だかり。ロンドンには珍しい晴天のもと、驚異の科学実験が行われようとしています。
来るべき20世紀、蒸気機関と電気技術は世界を制する。馬車は姿を消し、自動車が行き交う。海を渡る船は羽を持ち、大空を飛ぶ。本日は皆様にさらに遠い未来の実験をお目にかけましょう。超電気式瞬間移動技術、世界で初めての実験であります。人体を巨大な電気エネルギーで瞬時に分解して別の場所へ転送。
Before the fly, folks. Before the fly. I don't know about you, but there's something sinister that looks wrong about it.
そしてその蘇生情報を計算して元の姿に合成する驚くべき技術。これより一瞬の後、この紳士は驚くべき空間を超える旅をする。電気分解された紳士はあの水晶塔に転送されるのです。こうしてよし。
my dude. I think something went wrong there. October 22nd, 9:36 a.m. in Slum Suite.
Bruno? Bruno, are you listening?
Oh! Sorry, what was that, Irish?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Did you like what I cooked for breakfast?
No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again?
Today's paper is full of news about the Great Exhibition again.
Ah, yeah, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime.
You're really not your usual self today. You seem very dull. Don't you agree, Hardy?
Harlock. Did you say something, Iris?
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
That face. Ha! When did you arrive? Naruhodo? Dude. I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? You might have known who's here, because breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much so that I didn't know you were present. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes. For example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly, it can be deduced. Therefore, that... let me stop there, Mr. Sloan, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such as it is. Thanks again. Yes. It crossed my mind recently. That's been 6 months now.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned.
Well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hardy?
Damn it, don't you do that to me! Huh? Did you say something, Iris? Back to moping. One coffee later. What's the matter with Mr. Soames today? Seems even more down in the dumps than me.
I know. And the Great Exhibition has opened. You think he'd be excited. Well, why don't we all go see it together?
I want to! Of course I do! But I can't! Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all! So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from, is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hardy.
I suppose I should try and find out what's going on. Alright, talk to me, man. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard by... I took on the defense of a young girl in trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. He's referencing the first game. The first case in the first game. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Unfair. The situation's utter deplorable. Mr. Nuttlehold. Yes, my lord! I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study. So that's what I've been doing.
You have, haven't you, Bruno? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room? And the notes about Son's whole cases?
During Iris special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silver next, Master Nuttlehold. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart?
Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either. But he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. I can't do that just by sitting around here. The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. The Great Exhibition is something like the World's Fair.
Do you know what I like to do? I like to look down on London from one of those lucky feathers.
Look down on... Do you mean those things? Fly?
Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all.
That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge.
I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very crystal.
Teleportation.
Something went wrong at the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. So I wish I'd seen it too. I'd love to see how bad some of the scary experiments really are.
There's the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here, every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Always. Lastly, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable, That is my problem. So we get the newspaper. Shadows cast behind. Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back of the paper? And the back page, you know, it's like, oh, it looks nice on the front, but you really want to check what's going on in the back. The back is usually like where you can find the juiciest stories. I used to read the newspaper. I usually found, like, if you look in between, you can find some fascinating stuff in between, you know, the front page and the back page. And yeah, I didn't like comic strips. I prefer comic books. Okay, so about your movie. Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Soames? You're concerned, I suppose? Nothing more to add. That's not like you. What sort of case is it? Shh! Quiet. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening.
You're acting very strangely, Harry.
What do you mean, Iris?
Not usually. The more mysterious and complicated the case is, the better Harry's mood is. Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please! You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation! Remember what I always say, put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you are making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Soames? Never mind. Once I have my cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. Well, that was a deep sigh. Need to examine this. On the bracket, a lost cat. The Reaper attacked. Ruffians aim to intimidate a man of justice. So many glowing reports about the great exhibition and everything that's going on there. Under this rather looking one. Wait, what?
What's the matter right now?
Look! The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Zeeks! This must be what Mr. Soames was talking about. Do you know any more? The Reaper attacked. It says in the paper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper, the baby, of course, didn't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes. Prosecutor Baroque Van Zeeks. Count Dracula. They say if the Reaper is the prosecutor in the case, there's no salvation for whoever's the done. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal or trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, taking jurors, bribing jurors. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the people. As you experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Honorable? Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. And at least come to roads, right? Reckless and unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scum. So, do you mean Lord Von Six has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? It's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. Doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns and stuff. Oh my god! Is he alright then? Is he hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know?
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Von Zeke's and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, I can't wait until tomorrow! In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the net. But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Well, I must be leaving, you know. Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Solms. Huh, you really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me on my guard in front of me, don't you? Well, you'll be wasting your time. That hadn't crossed my mind. Yeah, I'm wondering where you're going. Well then, see you later indeed. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out the door.
Alright then, Bruno, let's get going.
Alright, Minnie Mouse. Oh, Iris. What are you wearing?
I got changed to go to the great exhibition. You're going to take me.
What?
But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court. Oh, well, that sounds fun too. You're going to take me there then.
Alright then, fine. Lower that weapon, would you?
Of course. And after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to see the great exhibition.
A new location been added. The Lord Chief Justice Office. The office of the Lord Chief Justice Strongheart in Britain's great capital city, London. Its grand stone architecture and the echoey tick of the vast cobwebs blended in the air of authority. And so I must ask the question. Ah, shit. Later that evening or day, take your pick. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. Yeah, it was a couple hours. 30 minutes. But some things never change, like a sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there.
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Of course. I was forgetting that you've been here before. We came here 6 months ago. In the first game. When Susato was given the news that she was to return to Japan. I understand you wish to speak with me. Lord Strongheart! I trust you be keeping well? Let's see, since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes and 26 seconds. I've kept you way too long. I apologize. Oh, no, not at all! I'm like no more standing around, staring at space. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. Yes, you need only savor the air for a moment in his grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you would be aware of, the great exhibition of London is now underway in London. We're extremely busy as a result. Policing the grounds, guarding new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And as next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. As for the hosting nation, I have much to do. And it is my highest priority. Others must wait for my attention as results. So be it.
Well, it's nice to know where I stand.
So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about.
Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord.
I want to get allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind, and it's almost happened.
No. Just take a deep breath and come out with it.
Permission to work, sir. I actually came here today to ask for your permission. 6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Nutholder.
Yes? Here it comes.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role.
Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his goal. If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him.
college. Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? Sorry? The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was? What do you mean? Mission? He's not making sense. Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been you've been studiously obeying your revised instructions. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean... As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Thank you! Thank you so much!
That's wonderful news, Bruno.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. Yes, fair. You will consider it, huh? Of course! Please send me more! Curious affair. You described it as a curious affair? Yeah, that's right. I believe it was reported. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition? No.
Yes, I read about it. The professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How will you describe super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think?
Instant transmission. Instantaneous kinesis? As in moving things with a click of the fingers? You mean teleportation?
That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil may care.
Whatever the stupid accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris' imagination. It's an unfortunate image. Large explosion go with the public experimentation stage and law society. Certainly, Mr. Elielson, an investor, a well-known figure in society. Odiasm? Large explosion.
Aquaman died?
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Habrin. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow. On the charge of what? Murder! You intend to take on his defense. You should hurry to meet with him in prison. There's very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation. An exhibition, science experiment gone wrong. Murder? I feel I might dead before I even started still.
We should go to the prison straight away then and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think?
Definitely. Ah, yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh! Lord Von Seeks. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them all will take place in Mars. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It seems as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly. London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly! The future of policing! Regrettably, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of authority methods. Oh dear, that is alarming. Exactly! It's extremely alarming! I summon the birds at my beck and call, and I say, a flock of seagulls! Come to my aid!
Oh, a flock of seagulls comes to the aid.
If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid evidence and 223 individual reasons to support my claim.
Sorry?
By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now. What?
Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. And that is more or less sums up my feelings of the matter, until this term goes. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right, yes, that's, oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, that's wonderful, sir. Very wonderful. Exactly. Wonderful is precisely. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in her book now.
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
I actually drifted off for a hospital. Sir, what do you know about this? Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this? The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition, of course. No, not that. The story on the back page. What story? The Reaper Town. Ah, that. You have enjoyed some victories in court against my number one prosecutor.
Poor Mr. Reaper, what happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Six would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. If it interests you. It does, strangely. Fortunately, Lord Van Six emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for them. They can't be found. But that's incredible! They were armed with guns? Why was he attacked, though? Do we know? It's related to the events that occurred a month ago. Leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Kunio-kun. But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Large sums of money. Deplorable situation. Endless joy with privacy. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic injustice. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchman certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Osmond. Mr. Odie Osmond. Did you say Osmond?
The man who died at the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Why do you use Lord Von Zieks as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court and meet with mysterious ends outside the courtroom? And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Von Zieks first. I know there's no evidence that he's actually the Reaper in essence, but still, what's going on here? I have Von Zieks applied for the prosecution services for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him.
But that doesn't make any sense! How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand?
Von Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 60 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. The chrono triggers are triggering.
11 hours late? That's quite something.
That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. It passes you by. Time waits for no one. It passes you by. I'm sure stuff for me during those 12 solid arguments in 223 regions.
Oh yes, where would I find Lord Von Zieks now?
I would assume he's out of his office. Right, I'll go and ask him about the attacking person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrain's defense entirely in your hands. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. A new location has been added. The prosecutor's office. The private office of Lord Von Zieks within the prosecutor's office building. Later that day, at the office.
Oh, this is the legendary Reaper's office.
Yes, appears so.
Oh, said to chill down your spine, nothing. What amazingly deathly atmosphere.
Oh, is that? That hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. What are you doing here? Yeet! What are you doing here? Jesus, I'm not looking as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see your will. So, who is the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh! That's my apprentice. He's sitting there with his own favor. I didn't know you had an apprentice. Must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. Sure, Asvel. He is variable in combat. I requested his skills for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the paper? I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming that it is such fatal fiend genuinely inhabits all created contours. Right, I do, right. So, talk to me. What happened last night? Well, Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack? Carried out by henchmen of Oleansman's criminal organization. The investigation and the arrest were imminent. Presumably some hope to cure me before that happened. Oleansman? He is always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came into him by uncommon means, via criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in extraordinary circumstances. It was a most unusual case. Most definitely. I know about that. It was super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Osmond died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen? Well, no, that does seem a little far-fetched. This man really is the favorite, and then he has to be innocent of this particular definitely.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Rona? I mean, what with you taking on the Professor Defense for the trial tomorrow?
What? You're going to be defending him? Oh, yes, that's right, though I barely know a man's name yet, to be honest. Adobelt. Harderbrain. That's right. Do you know him by any chance? course. He's a contemporary. We were at university together. You're... What?! You're contemporary. I understood that Professor Hairbrain was from Germany, though. Hairbrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research. So you were students together? I was in the faculty of law, of course. He's science, so our path very crossed. But curiously, we got along. Though I've not met him since my university days. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this far. And with you, the people representing him. Only if I make it all this officer. He's actually been charged with murder since. Yes, I know. Because the prosecution. He'll be handled by me. By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor have been friends. We are friends, it's true. Then why would you do this?
If the Reaper's with the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him, he's doomed.
What's he thinking? What do you mean by what you said before? I'd like to know that the Reaper's true identity. Does that mean... I am a crown prosecutor and I won't make any other. I'm difficult.
Well, they've all died, haven't they? The people you prosecuted me. Whether or not they tried it in conviction or acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the various riches of our society. People who are, without question, deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place for them. But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't involved rich at all.
Nor with Jeannie, in fact. She's ever so hardworking, you know?
I cannot deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those high riches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by the refugees because they believe it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. Oh! It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Do you mean to say... I mean to say that my pseudonym serves as a useful purpose. I adopt it gladly, and with honor. That's putting you in danger! You could be killed! If that is my fate, let God decide. And this? It's the kingpins of the underground. Is the kingpins of the criminal underworld generally managing to escape conviction in Reaper's trials? This is the first time that henchmen have tried to attack Lord Von Six as a result, by the sound of it. Makes you think, if that's how the justice system works in London, then there must be dark forces at work. Lord Von Six, about the article in this paper? Ah, yes. Seems there was a report in the environment this commission. I had no idea it had been photographed. It was careless.
It looks as though it was taking everything or attacked everyone we did.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. There's someone else fighting alongside you, seems. I think it's the same man sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he is my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? He is my tutelage to become prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Oh, like you are the Harley then, you know?
I don't remember taking a apprenticeship with a great detective. He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. Looks like he's wearing some kind of mask. I'm not struggling with motives. Nobody knows the man's face or the deed has been painted. But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual? But Stronghold is all those he. He's not one for meaningless follies. That would be good reason for his actions. I hope you're right. Ah! The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the bricks. As you wish. Yoroshiku? Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. Didn't even know he existed, and yet somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. Oh, I see. Why are you also interested in my apprentice anyway? Huh? Oh no! I mean, sorry. I didn't mean to. The way he stood there so carelessly, yet with that flawless posture. Couldn't be. Ah yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, what's that? That Nipponese man. Is he found one? Sorry? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago with the stoop, mustache, jitters. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Bruno.
Yeah, he's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Right, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? Yes, at the time left before tomorrow's trial, I advise you to spend it investigating the case. Yes, thank you for the advice and for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking for Sasuke. After a nipping you? Let's call him with Japanese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy or about that or worried.
I never imagined that Mr. Weaver would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books.
Mad scientist? You mean Professor Hairbrain? Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Von Zeeks, I think. Make sure I covered everything. Okay, covered everything. Okay, good. To the present again. Cell 11. The one said cell 11. That's this one.
Oh, there's someone called up in a ball in the back corner, look.
What's his name again? Professor Albert Hairbrain? Was it? Excuse me, Professor Hairbrain. Who are you? I'm Ryunosuke Naruto, defense lawyer. A lawyer? What's it something I said? Lawyer, you'll say. Wait, would you be here? Experiment. Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, no. Yesterday's demonstration. That magnificent demonstration it was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one isn't. No lawyer believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave an high velocity. Now's probably not a good time to mention that you resuming my concentration leave for well too. Yeah, my dude. Can you breathe? Can you breathe? Thank you. About that demonstration. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday.
The papers would call it a spectacular failure after all. A man died in an explosion in...
Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. But I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure. But at the same time, was a great success. Daisuke! You've lost me. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Osmond was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Osmond in fact perished. Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Osmond was an accident, correct?
But the big wigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder.
I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that I wish to be punished at once! Murder? Never in a million years? It was an accident, simply accident! I see.
Harry and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as accident or murder.
How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody.
What grounds? Ah, yes, it's newly established here in Britain. The special dispensation for scientific equipment. No one passed me by.
The case is treated as murder, then they'll say...
But if they treated... Let me read that again.
But if the case is treated as murder,
Then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pull over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail to find out that it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypotheses will be stolen. This is why you need to copyright. The machine must be protected from that at no cost. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have an accident in tomorrow's trial. Ah, I see now. So we'll talk about eye cake breaking. So in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes! Or rather, no. The devil's in the details. Strictly speaking, that was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me.
you were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis virtue. How fascinating!
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible, using a sufficiently high voltage, to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. It has been proven in Tron. It has been proven in Dragon Ball Z. It has been proven in many other anime since then. And it has been proven in Mega Man, of course. It's in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see. That's my amazing hypothesis. Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science. Oh, but dare to imagine it! Dare to dream of such incredible technology! Just think, one moment I could be here in the cell, and the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Oh, yeah, that would be incredible. And the next, in a mere blink of an eye, I could be at the Great Parisian Theatre, say. The possibilities ends. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. So, no more hiding wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days.
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem fast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it's shrunk.
My word, that's exactly right! What are the implications? What does this mean?
That professor, but he really hurt by the look of it.
Yeah, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. That's always the case. Like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. This guy is basically just because you can doesn't mean you should. He's more like Fafo. Because if Fafo was if Fafo was a person, this is Fafo right here.
The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works, but without practical demonstration, it means nothing. That's always the fly in the ointment. Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have. That's exactly it. Yes. Harry's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science. Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Osmond.
The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Osmond, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man?
He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I think my lucky stars.
I see. So you hadn't really known each other until then.
Money for scientific research, absolutely obvious. As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel.
Really?
An archangel even.
I figured out his name. Sounded like something straight out of Shin Megami Tensei. Odie Osmond. Like, Odie Osmond. It's a play on words of the name in Shin Megami Tensei. If he's saying he's an archangel, like, I get what you're saying. Mr. Stephen Hawking. My dude.
Well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Osmond provided me with money, an exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to my precise specifications. Then you agreed to blow the dust in one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owe everything to Mr. Osmond.
I would never, ever have thought of taking a man's life.
That seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. I understand Lord Von Ziek's a friend of yours from your university days.
Yes, that's right. He was studying law while I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
Good question. Unassuming, gently, all around nice fellow, maybe.
Uh-huh. Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Baron von Zieks. What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about you in question or no? As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is a little darling of the Van Zieks family, with all its great
aristocratic origins.
I didn't realize he had quite such noble blood.
Little darling? It was a bit of a shock when he came back to Britain and learned what he'd become. That Veep of the Berry, no less. Yes, that's right. I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation.
Really?
What sort of event? I'm sorry, but I don't know anymore. I was in the country at the time. I was in Germany already. Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Von Zeeks will be the prosecutor in tomorrow's court. So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying. You had no intention to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's 2 squared is 4. I swear it.
Yes. Yes, it is true that the man perished in the machine of my invention. So that, I'm far from blameless in all this. But still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science, is all I know. You have to believe me, please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. I've always believed that. All my life. Yes, of course, Professor White. I'm afraid I don't know much about science or your theories, but I do believe you. I fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe me. Please. When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, religion, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. This man learned this from Germany. Damn, that's deep. Thank you for that, Professor. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
Alright, Bruno. It's time to visit the great exhibition.
Sorry?
Well, that's where it is to happen, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate it first. And that new place is the experimentation stage. The Great Exhibition Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. Ugh, shell grounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now. I felt myself swooning 3 times. Ah, yes. Welcome to LionCon. It happens no matter what kind of expo you go to. LionCon is always there. You know, the many times I've gone to Anime Expo, I could tell you this. LineCon is a big ass RNG. So either you're going to be there for an hour, 2 hours, or 3 at the most. And if it gets to 4, just leave. I've learned that's what you need to do. So when it gets past 3 hours and it doesn't move past that, you leave. You go say somewhere to get something to eat, drink, or something like that. Then you come back. If the line's still, and if it's still around, just get in there. If the line is short, just zip on in there. And I've learned that also, the best time to actually go through the line, it's in the evening. Not high up during the day, but in the evening, like around 3 or 4. Because if you're going to be there like at noon, it's going to be slow as molasses. And you don't want that heat beaming down on you.
There's a lot of people out there. I've almost been trotting over 3 times too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. You finally made it through the thrones, though. By the look of it. Here we are underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. See, if Luca was here, none of this shit would actually happen. What's that? I can hear voices from up on stage. Sounds like an argument. Right, I've heard you this time. Right, I've heard it with you this time. Warning you, I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh yeah. Go on then, Spectre, give it a shot. He ain't got no evidence, and you know it.
Wait, I know this voice. You got a chicken in the mouth on you, young lady. But I know you said to teach you some manners.
Just try it, I dare you, if you want those burger chips rammed down your throat. Yeah! Gracie! What are you doing out there?
It's you! Yeah, you're here! You are you, eh? Young ladyship! Oh, jeez, my God. How are you, your ladyship? Oh, I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady? I swear. Song reference. But I'll admit one thing. They do make better references than Working Designs. Working Designs, when they make references, they go between the lines of and cringe. Like you get a cute laugh out of it, and then they hit those certain those certain lines that they put into some characters, and like, yeah, I'm not touching that. See my Albatross? Let's play. The one on Saturday. Sorry, I didn't read that line.
I'm not well. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable! I'll go and have a word for you at once, your ladyship! You'll be flying and you're going in no time. What's some food and some drinks for you? Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Why does he act like Luigi? He looks like Luigi when he's older. Like, what the hell? I'm gonna call it Inspector Luigi. Part of me wants to pull out a Charles Martinet for just this dude right here.
Here we go.
Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, carrying he does and the adventures of Harlock Souls. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. There are limits, surely. Oh, there should be. Watch it, sunshine!
Sorry.
What gives it? I won't crumble on the skirt. Yes, I'm acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate.
Damn me. How's the situation, is it? Is he really that trouble?
Merciful Bob. That's all you got. You're lying, ain't you? I could stand to carry a bit more copper out of your pockets, Mr. There.
What? Hey! That's my last bit of spending money, that is!
You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bob.
This is Gina Lestrade, pickpocket or diver, born and bred in the East End of London. The case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago. This is the young girl I was defending in court.
What's your problem, Edo? Diver, pickpocket, what's before the name calling? You want a bag of chips round down your throat and all, do you?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You're just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, aren't you? Why has you been up to your usual tricks here at the showground?
I ain't no way to talk to lady, are you? Half a years ago. Half a years ago, people can change. And I'm a princess now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective. So you have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
Inspector? The hell, the badge is homemade, surely. Hey, Inspector Parton is entire. It was worth anyway. Investigating's off the cards for all of us. So she's like Junior from Dick Tracy. An unofficial, official junior detective.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right, well, I'll be back up top. Ill down the full. Yeah.
Right, sir.
This This raises a lot of questions. And I will be moving on. Just kidding. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got involved in murder.
I had a lot of time to think in prison. Every night I couldn't go home like I was. Dive over working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Jimmy. Well done.
So, you went from being a pickpocket to detective?
You got it. Good, ain't it? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh?
Talk about sea change.
And there's Iris old man to think about.
Iris follow you.
Yeah, promised her, didn't I? Said I'd get all the police force around the world to pull out all the stops looking for.
Just a small promise then. Nothing serious.
Oh, you're so sweet. So anyway, that's all come. I had to go at the test for Scotland Yacht. Only trouble is I don't rate so well, do ya?
Just a small problem. Nothing serious.
And that's when Harry approached Betsy and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of princess.
That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson. And brave.
Well, you know Harry. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt in other words.
So the long and short of it is, if you got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
Ooh, right, you know what?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she is still.
Come on, you're still not on about that, are you? The legendary Reaper, whatever it's called. Cool. Get out the way, are you?
If I didn't have to worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left.
It's like I told you before, ain't it? The Reaper's called, like, him upstairs. So he knows what I'm like on the inside. But I ain't really done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong, like me stretching a point.
Well, what about Mr. Nazi made Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Oh, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper's more discerning than I thought.
Exactly. Fine, way. Totally fine.
Okay. So what do you know about the incident?
Oh, I thought it was waterfalls. Brandy Black pulled a bunch of levers on his machine, suddenly started blowing smoke, and then just went poof. I ain't seen a bad experiment there yet.
Sorry?
You mean you're sorry, Judy? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. Boss in charge here, ain't you? Keeping everything on smoothly.
Boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's going to take some getting used to.
So all I have to say is I'm on duty, and I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was up in London flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. No, you're so lucky, Judy. Maybe I should drink something here too. Yeah, do it! You know how to put the balls in his place already, right, eyes? You have no trouble at all. That's settled. What'd I say?
No, no, no! You can't join Scotland Yarders.
Well, see. Anyway, what I don't understand is if the machine is deployed so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success? I'm wrong, but it was a success, anyway.
It was. Okay, I forget. Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success.
Like I said, it's sort of like. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of smoke and all that whopping great bang. But where do you think they found the victim's body at? And the crystal tower over there!
What? In the tower?
You can see for yourself, can't you? Up there, above the scaffold. Oh, where are the glasses broken in? Yeah, the cage what the victim going to start with. Ready to get been through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So you see, they kind of what, didn't it?
What?
I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs about it, but anything's possible in right science. I'll tell you what, it can have this. It's a kind of experiment they drew up at the yard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, dear on, I had 3 bob of you before, so fast fact.
Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? So now we got the sketch. So how's the investigation going? Oh, wait. Let's take a look around. Yeah, right here.
Oh, look, what's this? A ripped piece of cloth?
It's not like any fabric I've seen before. It's very thick and stiff. Looks extremely durable.
Canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well.
That means it has something to do with the experiment.
Let's make a note of it, Jimmy's mignon.
We get that. Wherever the hell this is.
Oh, looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree there, just there.
Dropped or hit? What is this? Some kind of machine that exploded?
Maybe could have fallen from the platform above in the glass, perhaps? What's going on here?
Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. That mysterious contraption.
That's why the curve ended up at this instant kinesis or whatever they call it. Get it close?
You're declaring the experiment a success.
That's what the wooden scaffold there for. Coppers and our lads set that up after the incident happened. Get the ball down, I think. Don't know really.
Can you help to erect the scaffolding?
No, you gotta do more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition, keeping lookout for the fun stuff.
Flying Gregson doesn't hear you saying that or give you the boot. It's incredible things. I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. For what's worth, I don't know. Plus the games of cars for all of us.
Yes, Mario Grexy ran over to that without explaining himself. I wrote that. Paul said there was allowed to investigate that wave machine what blew up yesterday. Well, that's not fair. We represent the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigation?
Nah, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither.
Why?
Well, did Boss call him again? Forensics investigation team, I think.
Oh, the fits.
Anyway, apart from the law, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, eh?
So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yes, I've never heard of something like that before.
Thought I could have it down on the quiet though, but Boss caught me out. Probably and giving me an earful before from down there, didn't you? It's not really bad.
I think you were giving him as much an earful back as I remember.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make him so stubborn. You say something they won't order. Go on, see if you can get through to him.
It's up on the platform above us, isn't it? Red machine, I suppose.
We could try killing Bruno. Rexy will listen to us.
I'll listen to you. Not so much me, but definitely will listen to you. Must have been set up for experiment, I suppose. Very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what a policeman is supposed to say.
I don't really understand feet very well. You don't use them in Japan.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's about 9 meters. But you have been in a year or no? Time you got used to our measurements.
Yes, well, this thing is so tall, spectators at the front would just have seen a wall and nothing else.
You probably thought they secured the best spot to watch from. Going to be disappointed.
There's a saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. Okay, I had to shrink my walkthrough down a bit so I can see everything. Now we just examine the machine. The Crystal Tower. Certainly not named. looked to be the focal point of the exhibition. Now it's definitely being so tall with all that glass. Can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan.
There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, zoo, and a museum. I heard you had to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors.
Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
And they say actually the whole tower's shut.
Suddenly it's not the crystal tower anymore, but the crystal glass shower.
Apparently everyone's taking the skies map and look down at the disaster area from above his head. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in blue now.
Londoners must be very patient people. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. So it's really examine the stairs just to get up there. The walkthrough was wrong. You investigate the stairs, not the machine. The stairs, just to get to the machine. Of course, the thing about the walkthrough I'm using is it's a list. So I'm using a map. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up?
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion. I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course, Harley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
That's true. Ah, and I explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs.
One time he made something that exploded with such force it took the roof off the building. I wish you would have seen it. I wish you'd been there to see it, Bruno.
It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. Time to investigate.
Ah, look, Inspector Gregson's over there. Seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really, he just looks confused to me.
Ripped itself apart magnificent, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air? What, you think he's trying to be Mega Man or something?
Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. Something like that even possible, Iris.
Oh, Reno, I'm just a child. How should I know?
A child when it suits you.
From what I can tell, I think if you were to pull this down...
Don't! Don't touch that!
That was practically instantaneous kinesis. The way you flew over just now, Grixie.
Please, your ladyship, I didn't mean to scold you, but I can't let you touch anything up there.
So sorry. If you have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
wonderful. This stuff's really wonderful.
Spots to shit.
It's more like this. This glug is more like this. It also goes like this.
Wonderful. This stuff's really wonderful.
It's just like old times, this is. We're representing Professor Harebrained in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine the scene. Oh, listen, sunshine, even though I'm not allowed to touch anything up there. It's a vastly special dispensation for scientific equipment act to blame and drop me potty. Oh yes, a special dispensation. The professor mentioned that too. All red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government thinks is playing it sometimes.
But we're allowed to just look at these.
Eh?
Surely that's alright, isn't it, Crazy?
Inspector Luigi?
Because, your ladyship, anytime you say your ladyship, please don't get your dainty hands dirty. Oh, don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Runa?
She really knows how to get what she wants. So about that... No. Do we examine the machine? That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the crystal tower. I suppose once people are assembled by the machine, they're shot out of the thing to wherever they're going. Lunar Eternal Blue! The magic arrow.
I don't think I'm supposed to shoot anything, Runa. It was set up to beam people to Crystal Tower where they'd be reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it wasn't as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose it's true, yes.
But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? It never does. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body and then beam him across to the crystal tower. Extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True, it was my fault and most unusual experiments planned for the exhibition. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous, so many spectators present at me? The government's doing everything it can to promote new science technology at the moment. I'm more worried about being ahead of the game than you'll spot of public safety infringements. Aren't they always? If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it makes Britain more powerful in the future, see? Yes, I suppose that's true. So, powers that be, placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
What sort of rights?
I'm making it so that any theories the brains have remain their legal property, as it were. In short, copyright. all through developing it into practical idea and even going into production. I remember a commercial that was like, that was about inventors keeping their copyright. So it's really, basically, they keep all the rights. It's the same thing with writers or anybody who's in the art business, being that if it's like when it comes from music or the fine arts, so science, writing, music, that sort of thing, you would have to just make sure you tell what it is. You send it to the copyright office. You have to pay a little fine, of course, and then you have to wait. That's really how it is. That's how I did with my former books. Like 2 books I have, they're under copyright. And the thing is, one got published, but it never sold. The second one, 2 books mine, is the opposite. Copyrighted, but never published. So that means, for me, I would like to get the second book, which is a poetry book, under a publisher. And I still keep the rights to it. Of course, I'm never going into self-publishing. No way. Of course, I've learned my lesson, which is get a publisher that has, reputation. Really, really good, strong reputation. Which is the infuriating reason the Scarpers aren't allowed to touch this drum scene. Because they don't offer special registration for scientific equipment at Wizard. I see now. None people with permission to investigate you or from some brand new department of the old. One's investigation team fault. We've been relegated to keep it gold. The fit. Any old fool could see that this heap of scrap metal was a sound to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, can't do a flippin' thing with it!
Poor Gravity is very feed up, isn't he? Mind me again, what's this new legal act? That means we're not allowed to touch the scene here.
Oh yeah, I'm me at it. Sunshine is a special dispensation for the scientific equipment on. No looky, just no touchy, only looky. Look but don't touch.
Yes, I did hear that you mentioned that recently with a real twinkle in his eyes, I remember.
I'm sorry, Dr. Ladyship. Sorry, That's especially for this great exhibition of us.
All scientists have to do is present their ideas for inventions to substitutes in the civil service. I think it's rubber stamped that a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality.
What does that really mean? Think about it. Think of all the world changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Although go out of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shamans, like I said. Thanks for that.
When we have absurdity inventions here, it's also fun.
Not the former year, but a member of the Fourth has to be present in every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh? Hang science just for the sake!
Oh, I don't think so. It sounds like my dreams have.
You shouldn't think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these sham bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. See E3. I had to take a step at that. Yeah, well, his point, sadly. Sorry. Like saying, none of our government's broad ideas. Funny theory of inventions aimed to show potential. The government hands all the research ground. Just like real life. Scientists get funding. Exactly. And that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. Who's out to keep them all safer? Yes, to smile politely and welcome the culprits into it. So you can see what I'm saying, can't you? Einstein's! Hang it!
Oh, maybe I can see your point.
Apparently, Professor Harebrant lives and works in Germany now conducting his research. That's what came back to Britain especially for the break, written out on Sunday. That's right, mate. Why? After one government research work. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. Last time in further education. Turns out he was at the university of someone we both know. Lord Van Zix. What's that? That's news to me. But if Van Zix mounts the prosecution, then I was accused the professor's fate. Sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another. Blimey. That's beyond me. I don't know what goes on ahead of us. Talking of Van Zix, this morning paper around the store of him being attacked, right there.
Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper's completely fine, nothing to worry about.
Here's what brother is that Reaper. I don't think that place is gonna keep up, I wonder. The victim of this case, investor. The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Asmodeus. That's the name that popped in my head. Asmodeus. It was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Van Zix is a top-class prosecutor. But even he can always push the right verdict through, sometimes just as company. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? All for sake, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zix initially. We all assumed he was taking matters to his own hands if he failed to see it due in court. Although the man denies that charge. Yeah, we don't have a thorough investigation. The conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zix is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'll stake my reputation on another one.
If that's true, then how do you explain it?
All those defendants couldn't just have coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, is it? The whole point of the Reaper. Professor Harebrained mentioned something else. He said that at university, he was a totally different person. Easygoing and kind. You what? He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. You have any idea what that was? Okay. Really? Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating problem scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself this way? Go upstairs. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrained was lucky to escape that soon. We should have a good look around the machine while we're here, I think. Touch anything, I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get strung on myself. I won't touch a thing, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? Hey, ass, don't turn your crunchiness. Get my sunshine. Oh, wait a minute. To examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we can answer that question. But we can't we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly! No annoying, obstructing, flaming rule! Oh, look at the base of the machine there.
Well, yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think.
Oh, isn't that a lovely one? The handle and shape is the capital letter E.
It is? Oh, yeah. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything I said! Don't say anything, I might say I'll kill you before I get strong myself, I said! Yes, I understand. Sorry, only touch teeny bit.
But Rex, you're very curious about the screwdriver. Really, very, very serious. Of course, your ladyship. Yeah, so clever, your ladyship. Francis wanting something like this. Here we go!
Well, I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
Aruna found it first.
I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. He's gone off with it.
That was very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Greggson's going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
2 L's an installment. Poor Gregson. Right. All you done here, Mr. Nanodo? Sorry? Is it about time you were leaving? Or rather, is it about time you were leaving? That lot are here now.
Oh, that lot?
The fit. They'll be giving me the evil in me too.
Oh dear. Poor Grexy. Here, have another cup of my special blended Cheerio.
I gotta do this again. That's what the hit. Yep, hits it every time. Ugh. Well, at least I've seen the scene with my own eyes. Looks like this is as far as we're going to get with our investigations here, at least.
I'm been thinking. Howie might know something, mightn't he?
About what?
About Mr. Reaper.
About what happened to Lord Von Ziegler? It sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Solms at the moment. He's in the middle of some big cases, eh?
Yeah, this is what you mean.
What's this? Some kind of interesting. Madam to spouse. This supposed to mean something to me?
You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. Very close to Baker Street, actually. You can go now if you like.
No, we don't have time for visiting attraction today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Harley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yes,
How's it that you know where he is?
Harley told me. But he told me to keep it a secret from you, Bruno.
Madam to spouse? See how it can be related to the case we're investigating here, but then stranger things have happened, and when they happen, Mr. Sons is usually at the heart of them. Madame Tuspez. Museum of History and Waxworks exhibits not far from Baker Street. Become a very popular London attraction in recent years. At the Waxworks. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes. Why are these people so still? Guillotines. Ruthless murders. Arnold, I'll be trying about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked?
That. What? Wax models? Ah! I read about dead bodies and wax ones in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. Called a 80%.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruno. You're scaring me. Anyway, 80% doesn't form readily, you know. It's best fish.
Yuck!
What now?
I just remember something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses to put them on display.
None of the examples in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
It can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them!
Oh,
There's no way anybody could make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait.
what is it?
Oh. No. I must be saying things. What the fuck? Why am I saying this? Is this an arm?
Looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the waxwork models have fallen over.
You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murders in here, do you?
Oh no! Stop scaring me.
Is it a wax arm or a real one?
Come on, you're always pointing that finger. You're always in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Yigati! Get the great detective, Mr. Howard Soames. Mr. Soames has his own wax statue in here, really?
Well, he is well famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? I know.
But look, Bruno, you can kick this harder. He doesn't move a muscle.
You can't go around kicking exhibits, Iris. Wait. It moved. I'm sure. It's not just a little bit either.
Really? Did it?
Look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look! There's a greater murder scene to enjoy! Much more appealing. My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner, as if you've seen something truly aberrant. Mr. Soames! I knew it. Iris! What possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick! Could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me!
But Bruno has something he needs to ask you.
Question.
And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are.
Well, I can't deny your timing was impeccable. Mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that. And my great brain, on which my secret, my success, had been built, would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unmatchable loss.
Oh, Harry, you do like to talk nonsense, don't you?
You can know something is true. Without one of those things, what happened in the past to train you. Now that you're here, let's take all along. How could I be of assistance? For you, Look, I suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Actually, I'm quite in a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? I'm all that. I have a strong suspicion that is related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak presently, my dear fellow. But for now, I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? What did you like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zeeks. Oh, I think Mr. Reaper. How'd you find him? Well, Agent. And so I filled Mr. Solms in about everything I learned. About Lord Von Zeeks, about Professor Hairbrain, and about the strange coincidence that they had been at university together. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make him such a different person.
I was sure that you know, Hardy.
You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before. That was something afoot. And that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Solms, he suddenly clammed up. Well, it seems we've reached the Greetings. Oh, hello. Where's she appear from? What's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? I hope you are appreciating my museum. Sorry, have we? Mr. Solms, do you know that... Not again! My apologies. I'm Esmeralda to Spence. This is my museum of Oxford. What? You're the Madam to Spells? Yes, sir. They're only 26 years young, I might add. Is there significance somehow? I'm a Madame in Nemo. There's a certain je ne sais quoi. Right. Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks. Rather, one waxwork in particular. That'll be Mr. Solms' room. I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time you move from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble. I hope that's butter.
She's not serious.
That's the problem. Am I supposed to ask Mr. Solms about Lord Von Zeeks now?
Let's not forget what Hardy said before. About something being afoot right here in the museum,
Yes, I know, but...
I'm so curious, I want to know what's happening here.
Have we got enough on our plate already? He's not even blinking. He really is a perfect model. A waxwork model.
I know it doesn't always seem like it, but Hardy's quite a perfectionist friend. But then, at night, sometimes he stays sleeping and blinking at me.
Oh, practice makes perfect, I suppose.
I just realized, though, seeing him standing over there now, looks like that. He looks like that murderous couple, doesn't he? Aren't you even?
It looks like Dogi from East. That's news to someone. Something afoot. I wondered, could I ask you something?
Yes, sir?
I'm just curious, is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Oh, well, it was, your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me. Look! Oh! Disappeared.
A wax model's work of art, not some tawdry object for trade.
There you are!
Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down?
My dear madam, to spare save your reprimand. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to invoke the police.
Why ever not?
She's turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. Though please be aware that I prefer... No, I insist upon payment in advance.
Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we?
Before I engage my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain?
That is the Dispel Special Exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it.
Ah, a special exhibit in the House of Horrors.
It must depict
A special curtain, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder?
Absolument!
No!
There is nothing amiss behind that.
Nothing amiss, madame. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens.
Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a second.
I must confess I peeked behind the curtain earlier. But to such special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one heart? Is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor? Yeah, there's a fat guy on the floor. Well, then perhaps Mr. Souls. That man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He is a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even waxwork, in fact. What? As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from humans. So allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit. Why would you say that? And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. She looks as pale as a carrot was. I don't understand. So, Madame Tussauds, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective enter temporary exhibit at work. The Great Deduction! The game is foot. Topic 1. Waxworks. Fate. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this building. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helplessly from your bag. In my estimation, some £200. That is all my own money. So what does the large sum of money reveal? Not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tussauds. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Waxwork for sale. Your business has hit hard times, Tootsie. In short, you sold the infamous killer the centerpiece of your special exhibit for the sum of £200. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is a portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, because of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the £200. It would appear that you twisted it, gentlemen, around your little finger most effectively. I was suggesting. He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of £200. Only when it came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extortionate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we see before us, collapsed in shock. Yes, the killer in the special exhibit fetched us killer price. We can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. Conclusion: he was sold for cash. Topic number 2. Waxwork location. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment. You cannot possibly. What really strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we only observe his neckerchief. Such worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man's an undercover policeman, currently investigating this mission. I now know that it's Sergeant John Clay. What are you talking about? The The man's quite a celebrity. His signature with accolades in last year's police awards. Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with the peculiar, unsightly visage. I've been watching him closely and hasn't known what's in fact as if he were a waxwork.
Oh, but you...
Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe! The telltale signs that instantly prove whether or not this old man's a waxwork is the obvious pastime. Trashy little punishment. Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks will have been close. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. The sort of plucky behavior that should attract this attention of Scotland Yard is not so, madame.
I do not...
Yes, the waxwork you sold has been... The waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. Discovered already. That's your conclusion. Thus concludes Hydaxon's great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Sure. That looks like some good soup right there. To me, I was like, damn, that looks like some soup. It's nice and bubbly. I see I've stunned you all into silence.
You have, Harry. You have. And you actually upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot.
If I could just bring up one more point, Mr. Solms. Ah, the notorious Naruhodo 1 point! I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So, that would mean he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't he? Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital last night. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether.
It turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Armo.
So you mean that's who the sinister-looking man they're supposed to be? Indeed, it is a particularly grim face, isn't it? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that earliest contact. But is £200 a lot of money for a wax model? It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages if that puts things in perspective. So, it's quite a lot then. Is there anything you wish to add? Before I melt you down. That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
The spell of all the bubbling wax will start screaming.
Mr. Solms did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call your assistant here, Iris. That's all right. To make some minor corrections to great detective's great deductions.
Of course it's alright. We'll soon set things up. We'll soon set things straight.
Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tispels vents her anger. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tussbells, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Again. Course correction. Mother! To begin with, let's ask ourselves exactly. Uh-huh. This large sum of money, what does it reveal? I'm not going to say it over because I've already said it. That public notice. I'm sorry, sir. She definitely looked in this direction. It's true.
But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her works with even for 200 pounds.
No.
You must pour her heart and soul in making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax.
If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
For that much money, I would. Sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if the 200 pounds could have some other significance.
Let's follow that furtive glance again and see if there's anything else that could explain it.
Seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all. Just not alive and kicking. He's not a waxwork or a model of mass murder.
I'm not sure I paid 200 pounds for him.
Yeah, but he looks the 200 pounds. I don't think the man's up for sale.
Well, anyway, it looks like a silly place to put him. Other museum visitors could easily trip.
I don't think the man was put there on purpose either. Wax work for sale. Would anyone really buy models of mass murderers?
I think I'd rather have 200 pounds in my pocket.
Exactly. You could buy one of those brand new types of steamed carriage. That's why I spend it if I had it, no question.
Oh, I'd buy all the herbs in the world.
Must be another explanation for the money. We need to keep looking. Another on the wall.
What's the note doing pinned on the wall there?
Ah, yes, let's see. Dear Madame Tussbells, we've taken the prisoner from this room. Price for his safe return is 200 pounds. Have the money ready by October 23rd, noon.
What?
This is the sort of thing that's left behind when someone's kidnapped. A ransom note.
Yes, it's a ransom note.
Exactly. Ransom note! The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so. We must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness abducting the waxwork. 200 pounds is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it. The bottle question has special rules, so I put together all the money I have. In summary then, the 200 pounds you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let us explore the next curiosity which we are presented. Who was a portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear that the man suffered severe shock. Which is clearly known to you. Yeah, right there before. The 200 pounds. So if the waxwork was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is?
We can just ask him when he comes around.
I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process.
Yes, you're right. Try to try so hard. You mustn't let him down.
Well, there's little doubt he suffered a shock. That much seems clear. In any case, what's Madame Two-Spouse trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Behind the Madame.
It's just Madame Two-Spouse right here, isn't it?
Yes, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. There's your left hand as well. Look.
Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please.
And she's very stiff too. In fact, it's really hard.
You're 10 years old, Iris. You don't know. You're too young. You mean... It's made of wax. A waxwork hand. What dealt the man with such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow.
How could you?
The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that, in fact, a left hand. Somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you. It is the hand of a waxwork model.
Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean that arm...
This gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir.
There's no keepsake. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
You confront the man and try to take the arm back. That isn't. the scene we see before us, he was knocked unconscious. The point being they need to revisit later, but for the time being we have our conclusion. Yes, the killer in the special exhibit has been kidnapped. Kidnapped. Sold. Number 2. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let's consider that one for a moment. Cannot possibly. That guy over there, that's the thing. His neckerchief. According to Mr. Solms, the old neckerchief is a sign to other policemen that some crime's underway.
A way of communication with colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
That Mr. Solms didn't hesitate to get away.
Well, uncovering secrets is in any true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Dispel's reaction to Mr. Solms' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. It's the stub here. What's the... The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Oh, well, that sounds like him.
Right. This isn't a real person at all.
His entire arm's being ripped off from the shoulder down.
His arm's been... What? Ties in with what we just found out. The shoulder stub. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his shoulder stub. No such perilous human walks this earth, that I can show you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model. I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Solms. He has become quite a celebrity in London, where there are no less than 3 police awards last year. I simply had to make a light of the man. Naturally. What other explanation could there be? And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man who sat before him with a particularly unsightly visage. Telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this man's waxwork is the obvious price tag. Killer policeman called Animal, was it? Was he well known?
He was all over the papers last year. Can't say I know what he looks like. Very low price, though. Weapons isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas and Mr. Gary Dub's delightful lodging. So this is a special killer taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from a museum and tried to ransom for £200? This crusty old killer policeman Ottermo? Really?
Perhaps we should have see if another idea crops up.
Twitch. Look at this. The old man's tapping his foot like crazy.
Seems to be fast asleep though.
Oh yeah. When you sit down for very long, sometimes that'll happen. Or if you're wearing something very tight, yeah, your foot gonna go sleep.
He's not tapping his foot conscious.
So he's not tapping his foot consciously then, so you mean...
It must be a twitch.
Never mind that, the point is, waxworks don't tap their feet.
Or a twitch.
Look at his arm too. I see a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we? The Twitch. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is the obvious Twitch. Even the most realistic waxwork do not exhibit the Twitch. In other words, this splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. Slight shift in your adjectives then. And there you have it. Well, Madam Dispense.
Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place.
He's clearly fatigued. Sound asleep. And what's this tag about showing a price of 3 pence? No doubt the price tag of a muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at the local market. I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does not strike you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway.
Because, as you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening. Actually, those from the very beginning detective.
So, it would seem that we finally arrive at the truth. The waxworker, the especially ruthless killer from Exhibit, has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard is already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus conclude Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Still a mystery. That's the conclusion. Deduction complete. In entry.
All sorts of people visit my museum here. Men, women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I reckon them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Anyway. Your great deduction is even more interesting than I even knew to be.
It was a pleasure, my dear madam. I'm gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I've no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the specialist brand, if it is indeed genuinely inducted.
Yes, tragically, it was.
Then I would ask you to reconsider. plus the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. In as much detail as possible, if you please. But after I've told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work. The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I fear, but as you wish. Alright, so... Do you make all these waxworks, Madame Tuspels? I am the third generation of waxwork artisans.
Gosh.
It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checked, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. Though that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing life legacy.
All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Barbie.
What you see here, exhibited here, represents the most atrocious of London's criminals. The waxworks here are created in the presence of the real people on which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions. That is the secret to the extraordinary likeness. That sounds terrifying. Other walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. I don't know about that. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see. That's how I see my portrait. Like, the public wish for something less horrifying. Do not fear. Sorry? This room's the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you understood. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians, something for every taste, I hope. It was Irish who dragged me straight here, come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I shouldn't be as humiliated.
Yeah, thanks, Sheena. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please.
Some days ago, when I came in here one morning, I immediately noticed that the waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. It is your most prominent display, so that's why the curtains were closed.
It wouldn't have to be Professor Layton, would it?
And I found a ransom note in its place.
The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then.
So this waxwork was stolen? As a model of some horrible criminal's face?
Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact. The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The Professor. And Marianne. Oh. Not a name I've heard of. So, Mr. Number seems the circus complete. Sorry?
The professor case happened around the time I was born, Penguin.
Did us. 10 years ago. Says rise that welcome to come. 10 years ago? Yes, exactly at the time. Barak von Ziggs graduated from the university, in fact. What? Surely he's not saying.
Is that a big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life?
As you surmised, 'twas the professor case. Who was this professor then? And where's Marianne? 'Twas a series of grisly matters that all had gripped in terror a decade ago. The one thing I'm thinking of is Jack the Ripper. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death. And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Of course, he happens to be absent at present on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zeeks? You must first understand, my dear fellow. Why is it that the professor earned such infamy? It was due to the victim teachers, some of my old finest.
What do you mean, hi?
As managed by the professor was some of the highest members of the British policy. Members of the nobility, even military, sent shoppers through the country's administration. Members that... Wait! Of course! What Professor Harebrained said. Lord Von Zeeks is from a family of noble blood.
Oh, gosh.
It was the 5th victim that led to the professor's arrest. Last the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of Clint Von Zeeks. No. I don't believe it. Von Zeeks? I'm sure you can piece together the result for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Baroque pursued a career as a prosecutor, which somehow parallels the lineage of Edgeworth. Because, like, his father was a defense lawyer. But that one moment in his life changed him from going defense attorney to prosecutor. It's a parallel to that. And eventually became the Reaper we know today. I had no idea Lord Van Zeeks had such a tragic past. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter. For the time being, at least. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit. I am afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well. Oh, yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. よろしくお願いします。 Arigatou gozaimasu. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here. It's been too long, it really has. I'm delighted to see you, Baroque. It's been 10 years. And here we are. Meeting in a prison of all places. I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asmund. I just can't! I still can't believe it could happen. Tomorrow, the court will decide. Yes! I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. Seems reliable enough, though. What's next? Terrible. He assures me. I must warn you. Oh, I know. I heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Baroque, are you really? What? Never mind. I know you have my best interest at heart. My friend will try. I wouldn't trust it to anybody else. Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Baroque. Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. And with that, thus ends the investigation. So I'm going to drop a save right here and stop. And in the next part, will be the first half of the trial. So, stay tuned in the next part when we deal with the first part of the trial of the return of the great departed soul. See you next time.